Yo, what's up? Okay, so in today's video, I'm doing a tutorial for you guys. By the way, I'm gonna use these little I don't know what it's called, like a little face expression, and like whenever I talk, like this thing like talks as well. I think it's gonna add a lot. Okay, hope you guys do enjoy today's video. It's gonna be a beginner's tutorial. Okay, kinda. So yeah, let's just jump inside the video and peace out. Well, hello, it's your favorite video, okay? And look, I have a little face thing here. Alright, I think it's pretty cool though, okay? I'm totally not AI or give it to me in any way. But I think it's kind of tough, alright, in my opinion. Okay, I think this is kind of cool. Oh, I think I can like shrink it down now. I kind of like it though, in my opinion. Alright, so for today's video, we're gonna do the tutorial that I've been promising you guys, like ever since I hit 50. We're at 80 subscribers right now, so thank you guys for that. We're gonna do an amazing tutorial for UI development, and once we hit 100, I'll do a mobile UI tutorial because you're able to do it on mobile. So yeah, all mobile people, I can be cooking as well. It might not be as good as PC, but you can still do it because guess what? I made UI on mobile once upon a time as well. Okay, so let's start off with a frame. A frame is what you'll have that you'll put everything inside of, which you'll use the frame for it's like, okay, a frame is technically another what's it called, a mask. Okay, a mask group is what keeps, it's like an invisible thing, but like this isn't. So if I put this inside of this frame, as you can see, it doesn't leave outside that frame unless I drag it outside. So as long as it's inside, it will not leave inside of this frame. Okay, so like a frame is just like a mask group. So for example, if I want this, hold on, Control D. If I want this right here to be a mask, I'll come over here, I'll press use as mask, and this mask here is invisible. Okay, it's an invisible thing which covers that, which I want to put something like this inside of. As you can see, it doesn't leave it because it's just a mask. It only shows what's inside of this square. Of course, I can move it around if I want to. But yeah, this is more like, it's not advanced, but it's kind of advanced. But yeah, that's what that frame is. So we're just gonna go down the line, okay? Okay, next thing. Okay, we have our selection tool. I've never really used it, but if I'm correct, no, I have no idea what a selection does. I've never used a selection tool actually. However, use it if you know what you're doing with it. You have a slice tool and a section tool, I guess. I've never used those. Maybe I've used it for the pen, but that's about it. I've never used these two down here at all. Going over here, this is your hand tool, which you can press H and you can move around. If you have mouse buttons, you're able to use like your bottom mouse button, but be warned, you get like kicked out the project if you like go somewhere, like if you scroll up. But like I think it's a pretty good thing to use, or you can press H on your keyboard. Scale. You press K to scale it if I'm correct. I'm so confused. What's the point? Oh, okay. I guess the scales will be able to scale things. You want it to scale to the right or on the bottom, I guess. But yeah, that's what the scale tool does. I guess it just keeps everything neat. These are your shapes. You have a line, which you just create a line, of course, and then up to stroke. And you have a line. You have a arrow. See, it's an arrow. Circle, triangle, star, and then image / video. So if I wanted so bam, this is like an image. Okay, and then we have the pen tool, which the pen tool, we can just like, it's like custom drawing. So if I want, for example, I want this tilted diamond, I can tilt it, change the color, of course, which I'll get into this, I don't worry. Okay, Bam, I have a little diamond here. For example, I wanted to have like a bottom part. I can do this and then draw all to the bottom. And connect, you have to connect it to make sure it's a fill. And then on the left side of the screen, I could put it behind it. Change it black, and now I have like a kind of like a shadow. I can change the like transparency, so the transparency can go down. But that's what the pen tool is used for. You have the pencil tool, which you can just draw. Text tool. This is where you'll do your little text or text on path. Which if you have a path, you'll just text. It'll be a text on that path. As you see right here. If I want, you should definitely do that though, you know. Anyways, this is like for whenever you're in a group, you click this down. I need you to do such and such. Alright, for like as if you're like in a team thing where you have a bunch of UI developers. That's something you could do, and then it'll just say it right there. So yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty cool to do. And then you can delete this dot as well. And bam. These are your plugins. Okay, so like you have all these like amazing plugins and all that. So if I wanted like let me think, like a star, I can switch in a motion. What the fuck? Oh no, this is animation. But yeah. I want a star. It'll give me an amazing star, I guess. You can just get it here, but you get what I mean. So now we go over here. This is going to be your art section, which you can see the left side changes as well. But this is where you'll do all your little art drawings, which you can change all your stuff. I use it sometimes. I won't say I use it all the times, but you can use it. You can change the width of it. It is storming like crazy. This one, the pencil tool as well. You can change the color. It's kind of weird, but you get it. Alright, this is the main tab, which is where you do all your work at. This is your animation tab. I wouldn't suggest using it though. Like, I don't really use it, but of course you're able to. For example, this is going to be our main frame, and then I want this right here. Right, click on this, add motion. Then I go over to position. This is my starting position, and then for example, I want this to go all the way that way. So I put it all the way back. I would play the animation, and it'll go there. Then I want it to loop, for an example. Okay, I'll bring this all the way down. And then play the animation, and then it'll loop over and over and over again. But yeah, this is your animation tab. This is the paid tab. You have to pay for it, so I can't really help you there because I'm broke and I don't have that. All right, let's do the layers tab. Okay, here. Oh my lord, I just zoomed in like crazy. Alright, so our layers, this is where we'll keep everything inside of. Okay, so if I have this square here, it'll pop up. But as you can see, this is at the top of the layers. Okay, so if I press Ctrl D, this layer is above it because it is higher than it on the leaderboard, or not leaderboard, but on the layers. Okay, kind of technically the leaderboard, if you want to put it in game terms. This is just a higher rank than what you are. Okay, so if I want, what if I want this one to be above this one? I'll go over here and I'll drag it right on down, and now this one is above it. Or you can do like the keybinds, which is, I don't know what they're called. There's keybinds. This is weird, but I don't really use it too much because I'm too lazy to do keybinds. But whatever. All right, here, we're gonna do work on the design area. Here we have position, which you can change the position of. I do this a lot in my videos to get get in certain area I want it to be in. If you haven't already seen, make sure to check out my other videos, of course. But if I want them in a custom position without me having to move around with my mouse. Y-axis, up and down. Rotation, it just changes the rotation. This one flips it for you. This centers it at 180. I don't know what the heck this one does. What the heck? Oh, this removes the negative or a negative. So if I have it like this and then I do that, it'll do the opposite side of it. Dimension, this will just this one right here, it just makes it either a longer or height wider. Just like reset everything. Okay. Transparency, so you can see it or not see it. Corner radius, this is what like you're gonna enhance the corners. You see right there. Or you can click this and then these little circles will round it for you. Fill is your color, which of course here you can do a green, which I think we're gonna do a play button. Okay, we're gonna make a little play button for this. Here, this is your gradients. You can have a little gradient color, so it can be like a dark color, light, white, whatever you want. You can change it as well for the top part. And then of course you can go back. This is your select source. So if, for example, I want to select, shoot, I can't really select anything. Hold on. This. Okay. Here. I select it and now there's multiple circles. This just selects what it shows here. And of course you can move it around as well. You can up the scale, you can do the spacing, you can do a lot of spacing as well. Here, I don't really use this, so I'm not like too familiar with this. This is where you can upload an image. You upload an image right here, and you'll have a little nice image. You can move that image around to like customize it. This is like where you can import your videos, but you have to pay for it. Okay, so yeah. And then these, what the heck is this? Oh, these are shaders. So you got like a little shader on your thing, I guess. We just import one. Bam. Again, I can like change it how it looks. Voila, there it is. And then of course I can just change the color of it if I really want to. Okay, and then here, this little water droplet. This is how you can customize how it looks, and there's a lot of good features with these. You just got to get the right colors. White is just, this is just not the right color. That's about it. These are your little these are like little categories, I guess. And then like graphics, etc. I don't really use these at all, to be honest. I just keep it on auto. But yeah, that's what it is. And then you have like your colors down here that you can use, or on this page at least. These are recent colors I've used on this page, creating this file, and other ones. I don't like flipping through a lot of things, okay? But whatever, just to get my color. But then we're gonna do a light green. Okay, that's with the color. And now we can do stroke, which a stroke is what goes around the edges. So if I want a red one, as you can see, the stroke's there. The weight is how much it is. Again, as you can see, I have a little red stroke. But of course, if I don't want it just to be on the inside, I can do center, which goes on both of them, the inside and the outside. The outside where it doesn't come inside, it just stays on the outside. But in my personal opinion, I like center a lot, but of course, it's just on you. Here, this one is like a customize. Okay, so you can customize. If I want it on the top layer, the UI will go on the top. So I will like flipping top part. You can do custom, which this one right here, you can like, okay, I want a little bit on the left side, a tiny bit on the bottom, and then I want a lot on the right, I guess. Okay, you can do that. Push the strokes at least. And then of course, press Ctrl Z to revert all actions you just did. I kind of forgot to do that, or explain it. But yeah, you can do that as well. I think I'm gonna keep mine around 55. I think that's a pretty good one. Alright. And now we have effects. We have an inner shadow. Start with that. This one's my favorite. Like I use this one like a ton. Okay, with an effect, let me just like do this real quick. With an effect, or the inner shadow at least, we can do position, which will come from the right side or the left side because of the x-axis. The top or the bottom with the y-axis, you can blur it out, which if I blur it out enough, as you can see, you can start seeing it. You can spill a little spread. And now it's kind of looking a little bit more better, in my personal opinion at least. I think I'm going to turn the stroke down a little bit. Oh shit, do I even need the stroke? I think I'm going to do here. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Okay, their inner shadow. And then we can also just spread it out really far. Or not. I think I'm going to keep mine around 135 though. I'm going to just keep it a little even. There we go. Okay, and then you can change the transparency of for it as well. So if I only want a little bit, I can have a little bit. But I think I'm going to keep it at a high amount. You can change the color of it. Okay, of course. You can just change the nice little color. You have all these amazing colors to go through. Alright, next effect, we have drop shadow. This one I used for my last UI, the red one. You can remember that. Hold on. I can show you a little bit. Here I used the little background color to give it that amazing glow. Okay. Back to this one. We can use a drop shadow to give it a little glow at the bottom, as you can see. So if I want, let me delete this frame. Okay. For example, this is like right behind this one. This is like your little box, I guess you can say. This one, I think we just do that. Alright, my drop shadow color is just gonna be white. Okay, as you can see, I have a little glow around it. But what if I don't want it to be a glow? You know, I want it just to be a little, I want it to look 3D. So I can do something like this, blur it out a little bit, and then it'll give it more of a 3D look, I'd say. Make it a little transparent. It'll be like as if it's not on top of it. As you can see, it kind of looks a little like, oh, this is behind it, this is in front. It's kind of a little 3D, I guess you could say. I've used it for glow, I'd say, like more glow. If I'm right, I can do colors of red. No, I guess not. That sucks. Whatever. I don't think I'll be using drop shadow for this UI, but whatever. Layer blur. This is how you can blur out everything. So if I want to blur out this UI, I can blur it out a lot. It's like just not as normal, I'd say. Hold on, let me go back to it. Progressive blur. So if I want the bottom part to be more blurred, right? No, if I want this to be more blurred than the bottom, I can do that as well. I don't use it, okay? I don't really use layer blur. I've never had a reason to, but who knows? When you're creating UI, you can always find a way to use something. You can only use one of them. Background blur. So this right here, okay, I can make this a lot more blurred out with black background blur, because around here, this will start to blur out a lot. So being that one main thing, it blurs out. So if I'm right, let me get myself like this. Yeah, it just doesn't work. Or maybe I'm just not using it right. Whatever. We have noise. Noise gives you a texture. If I scroll in, you have all these tiny little dots down there. That's what noise does. It gives you like a little texture. Which, of course, let me delete that. Okay. You can add the color a little bit more higher. You can change it to white. But of course, it goes everywhere, okay? So you should be a little known about that. I'd say use a mask while using it, but whatever. Next will be texture. I've yet to use texture, in my opinion, because it kind of just looks ugly. You can clip it inside the shape, so then it's just not outside of it. As you can see, it's like more inside of the shape, which gives it a texture, I guess. And then you can change the radius as well. I've never used it, but you never know, maybe you do. Glass. Okay, so if I have something like, so if I have a triangle here, it's behind it, there's a glass reflection, as you can see. So like whatever is behind it, it's just gonna be blurred out. It's just gonna be glass. And then of course you're able to change it. Okay, like change the reflection and all that cool stuff. I've never used glass. I don't know a lot about it. I don't know how to use glass, in my personal opinion. I say the main one you're actually gonna use is like inner shadow, drop shadow, layer, blur, maybe noise. I've used noise a couple of times. Shaders is in beta. I haven't really used it, but I'll just show it to you guys anyways. It adds this into it, which I guess is animated. No, I lied. Change how big the dots are, but that's about it. Blended, yeah. I wouldn't say use it, but you might need to use it. Export. So if I go here, I can wait, why the heck do I have a, oh. If I go to export, I can export this thing and send it to other people. So for example, if you're in a dev team and you want to like give your work to the other devs, you press export and it'll send over to the devs. But you know what? Here we're gonna create a play button. Okay. So let's get to that. Okay. So I want to start off with a square. Okay. Well, I think like a normal play button is like more of a green, I'd say. Just go for a gradient as well. I think something like around there for the top, and then we can go for, I feel like play buttons are supposed to be like a lot more like light color, you know, but whatever. I think we're gonna go for a second color as well. I think, no, I feel just my personal opinion. I don't think it's doing too well. I think that's fine. And then here we can go for a little bit more of a whiter color. Yeah, I think that's pretty good actually. Alright, and then we're gonna bring this down. Give it so it has like that corner. Let's give it a stroke. I think we're gonna go for a black one. Something around there. Let's go for an effect, an inner shadow. Turn it white, and then we're gonna change this to 0, 0, so it's even with everything. Bring that in, just to give a lighter color around the edges, as you can see right there. And then we're gonna do another one, which is gonna be all black, and then we're gonna blur it out. You know what? Actually, I don't think we're gonna have to go for all black. My bad. I think this is pretty good already. My bad. You know what? Actually, we're not gonna mess with the stroke. Oh no, something's like messing with me here. Alright, so here, we'll switch up play. As you can see, by the way, in assets, you're able to get little assets that you want. If I want this triangle here, this is a component. And by the way, there will be an advanced one, like little animations, like better stuff as well. But I think I'll do that around like 200 subscribers. So like get me there and I'll get you a better tutorial that's a lot more advanced, I'd say. I feel like this is like way too tiny. So it's out of stroke. I can't even add a stroke. Oh. Wait, hold on. If I'm right, I do effects. Wait, hold on. Icon. Ah, okay, there we go. There we go. Should I change the color? Yeah, I think we're gonna keep it like that. And then we're gonna go for a text. This was actually not taking me too long. 600. Play. Change the color to all black. Something like around there, I'd say. Okay. And then we can change the our fonts right here, and how do you say that? Typography, whatever. We can change our font here. So let me find myself a pretty good font real quick. I think we're gonna go for this one right here. Just not the worst. I think we're gonna size it up a little bit, so like around 650. There we go. I wouldn't say this is the best play button, so what we're gonna do. Hold on. UI assets. Of course. Go here. There we go. So confused why it was taking so long. As you can see, I think we're gonna go for. I think this is gonna be a pretty good one. Let me see. Around there, I'd say. So we're gonna press Control D to duplicate. Go over here, and then we're gonna use as mask. We're gonna put this inside of that mask, and then see how, as you guys can see, this is like the dots are coming off. So we're gonna move our mask inside a lot more. It won't be perfect, but whatever. We can remove the stroke to this one. There we go. I say that's a pretty good one. And then we're going to put the transparency down a lot. I think that's pretty good, actually. Maybe you can change it to something like this. You know, make it follow what we're going for. I just moved that. Let's see. Something like that. I'd say that's a pretty good play button. Of course, it's not the best, but I think for this tutorial, I think that's a pretty good one. So I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. Okay, make sure to like and comment down below, you know, for any other good UI ideas I should do. But yeah, peace out.